Hello everyone and welcome back. It's about 8:30 on Monday night. I just picked the very last of the beans. So that one container that you saw there, I total got about 5 of those containers. Last night Melissa was canning beans and she did 12 pints with green beans, onions, and bacon in there. Tonight she's doing 16 just green beans. She wants to do some with onions and potatoes. Potatoes and bacon and green beans. And then she's going to do some ferment them, where you put whole ones into a quart jar, and then I think you add 2 teaspoons of salt to it, fill it up, put a grape leaf in the bottom, put some dill seed in there, garlic if you want. So anyway, she's been doing that. Last night when she had to do it with bacon, she had to let it in the pressure canner for 90 minutes. But tonight now, I think with the green beans, what do we do? With pints, I don't know, 11 pounds of pressure for, it's not that long, 10, 15 minutes I think. Maybe 20 minutes, I'm not sure. But, so yeah, we're staying busy and staying on top of the garden. This morning, Dolly, first time ever, I put the bucket in there with the milk, because if you remember in the last video, the one for my mom, I was trying to do it and I put my fingers in there and she would suck on it, but I had it so that really my hand was flat like this and she was just kind of pushing her nose against my fingers. This morning I put it in there and she's sticking her head through the fence and everything, and finally she shoved her face in there and figured out very sloppily that she can suck the milk up. And then tonight now when I did it, I put it in there again, and it took her a while, but she did suck it down again. And now you're going to go pee on the video, just like Mesa does. I put, right after chores, I put the halter on Dolly, took her out in the yard, and of course Mesa, who was out there grazing, she's always mooing and she's right by the fence. So I said, you know what? She's not going to go anywhere. She lets me walk right up to her. So I just dropped the fence and took Dolly. And then Mesa came out and she was running in the field and up on top of the mound system over there. And it was actually scary because when you've got a 1,000-pound animal running right towards you when they're excited, and you know, I made sure I stayed close to the calf because I've got the halter on the calf and then I've got a lead on her. Well, if I have 5 feet of lead and Mesa decides to run between us, she's going to slam into Mesa, I'm going to slam into Mesa, and we're both going to get squished. But anyway, I'll probably do that tomorrow. It was fun to watch. She was a whole different person when she got out of that fence. That's a good girl, Dolly. And Dolly, when I took her out of here, I put the halter on and ran her through there, and I was trying to shut that gate, but I still had the lead in my hand wrapped around my hand. Luckily, she took off running because she was in this pasture, dumps me down on the ground. Luckily, I didn't land in a cow pie, drug me until she stopped. You can see right here where I was dragging through right there. And yeah, you got to hold on tight because she's getting pretty strong. I think I'll go in now that it's about 8:30 and check comments on the video that I put up last night. I was out here doing chores at 6 o'clock this morning. Then I had to take off for a while. Actually, I had lunch up in Virginia, Minnesota. Usually every Monday I got to go up there, and it's at a certain time. So I stopped at the Pizza Ranch and have their, pizza and chicken and everything buffet. It's become my Monday thing to do. And then I got home this afternoon about almost 4 o'clock, about 3:45 it was. Actually, I'm going to keep this out for the pigs. It's too big to eat. Unless you're going to make bread out of it or something. So last night we went to bed and I don't know what time it was. I put my phone down at 11 o'clock, and for me, when I do that, I fall asleep within 1 minute. Melissa, it'll take forever, but for me, I'm out immediately. And anyway, I wake up and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and today it got to 79 degrees, and it's that time of year, you know, we're into August, it's August 10th. So the afternoon sun is hot, but the air really doesn't feel that hot, if that makes sense. And it got down to, I think, 43 or 45 last night. So it was cold outside, and we, in the bedroom, we had, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fans going. 5 fans. We had the ceiling fan going too. And one of them is, I have the window, I had the window open in there. We have all the windows open in the house, that most of them. And so it was cold. But a skunk sprayed last night somewhere outside, and I woke up, and Melissa, I can see her phone over on her side of the bed, so she's scrolling her phone, and she's awake, and she goes, "It smells like skunk." And it was so strong. And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, so I've got a drink of water. Went back to bed and woke up at 4:30, and I'm up for the day. And anyway, then I went and I did chores this morning, and definitely a skunk sprayed. It was still, even when I walked into the workshop building, you know, when it's hot out, the workshop building stays cool. There's a lot of concrete in there. And it holds the heat, though, overnight. So I walk in there, and it's warm, and it's strong like skunk. Milk the cow, do the calf, bring the milk over to the pigs. And when you get over there by the pigs, right when you get past the workshop building and start walking over, that's like ground zero. So I get to right here, and it's so strong. And I don't know if you have ever been around a skunk that sprayed. When you're a ways away, it smells like skunk. But when you get right to the spot, it's completely different than the skunk smell. And right where I'm standing here, and as I walk over here towards the pig pen, it gets strong. And like, there's no wind right now, and there's humidity in the air. Like, I'm standing right here, and all you smell is cow manure. And I love that smell. I never was much for the pigs smell or the horses smell. Always loved the cow smell. But anyway, all I was smelling was skunk. What I think happened was, because there isn't really any predators around here, the ducks stay out all night. There's always a ton of rabbits running around. I think that a skunk got in here, tried to get in here, because it was real strong when I got to here too. And I filled up their water and let it run so they have a little place to wallow. And I had dry food in the bowl, and I have hard-boiled eggs. We hard-boiled probably 30 eggs the other day, and I give them 6 or 8 each day. And so there were still eggs in there. I think a skunk tried to get in there and eat that food, and when it did, it hit that electric fence, and that made it spray. It's the only thing I can think of, because it was so strong. You don't get no more milk until tomorrow. They are definitely drinking it all up every time now. They're getting bigger. It won't be long now, and they won't have to crawl in there. They'll just stick their head over. I had so much trouble last time, though, with the other pigs walking around this side, and I couldn't pour because we got a big old pig standing there. They've tried to get around here, but they hit that electric fence, and that ends that immediately. Wonder if it smells like cow manure to all the neighbors too. I mean, our neighbors aren't close, but it probably does. But right now it's nice, there's no wind. When we get into September, that's when I have the hardest time filming and everything, because where we are here, everything gets windy, and it's like it never stops, and it gets so monotonous. But back there I could smell cow manure and skunk, and here all I smell is cow manure. How's that gonna work? Well, I'm just out here tinkering with the tractor because I've had the trouble with it where I run it, and then it's about 20 minutes in, it will start acting like it's running out of gas. Like if you guys watch all the videos, you know I've played around with this before. I replaced the sediment bowl, and that hole to set up, because I've had that trouble before where it was in the bottom of the tank, there was some junk. So then I posted the question of video on the Farmhouse Restorations and Rebuilds site on Facebook, and they said replace the coil. So I did that today. And then the other thing was, they said where the gas goes into the carburetor, there's a screen. I don't see a screen there, but I took it off, and look what I did find in there. Can you see that? That looks like, it looks like hair. It looks just like hair. So anyway, and that was really blocking that hole. So I think what's happening is, the reason why it takes 20 minutes is because that's about the time until I get a load on everything. And when I have put a load on it, it needs more fuel, and then it doesn't get enough fuel. Oh, there it is. There's the screen. That's not much of a screen even, but that's the problem. It's all completely plugged up. Huh. Well, you learn something new. I don't even, you probably can't even see that. You can't even see through it. Huh. I tell you. And then somebody said, you know, it might be a burnt valve, and it's like, oh great, that would be my luck. Let's see here. But every time with this tractor, when something's wrong with it, it's been something simple like this. I just love it just because it keeps going. Let's see here. Look at that. There's a lot of things I've been wanting to get done, and I haven't because of the tractor. I mean, you know, you're just kind of limited. All right. Today was the first day. Every morning and every night I'll fill that 5-gallon bucket all the way up to the top, so it's just starting to pour over so I can see if she drank any. And today when I checked it, I filled it up this morning and it was down about 1.5 inches there. So she's definitely learning how to drink water, as well as now she's just chomping down on the grain. And you'll see in a minute here, she can drink the milk all by herself. How long is it going to take you today? You just know right what to do now? You did good this morning. Oh, she went right in there. She still doesn't know what she's doing. She like bites the water and shoves her whole nose in, but it only takes her a minute to get that thing all the way down. Maybe I'll give her a little bit more and a little bit of water. See, I can't hold it because she still tries to suck on my hand then. See how she gets down on her knees and does it too. Alright, now this one's half milk and half water. Come on. Let's go. Tonight, as you saw, I took Mesa back out again, and she didn't run around like she did last night and do the happy cow dance or anything, but she was eating grass so much. And I think I'm going to, with the white string type electric fence, I don't even have to electrify it with Mesa. I'm going to do some of that out in that pasture because the grass is so good for her. But anyway, it was good to get her out there. Tomorrow I'm going to do a lot of using the brush mower. I have stuff to cut down, a lot of thistle and stuff. So, and I'm home tomorrow finally. Tomorrow I'm home and the following day I'm gone. Good morning, everybody. After I finished chores this morning, I went up and bought a whole bunch of these fence posts, the temporary fence posts. I need to get Mesa out here so she can eat this. I can just tell that they're not getting enough grass, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it has been so dry this year. I mean, it's growing, but I have a bunch of stuff I want to do in that pasture today too, so I need to get her out of there. 10 after 12, I'm going to run inside and have some lunch. At least I've got everybody where I want them right now. Well, last night or yesterday I was clearing we'll go out there, the trails back there. And then Melissa and I went on a buggy ride last night, and I just loaded this video into the editor, and I see that the clips where I was back there are blurry. So anyway, after that, I came back out here and mowed all around and cut the brush down all around this apple tree this is the apple tree that we have that we didn't know we had. So, I mean, it really made it look nice here. And so I'm going to take you down that trail today. Got up, did chores, left, didn't get home until almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Grabbed the mower, went back in the woods area where I was doing the trails before, and I didn't continue that one on, but I went off of that and made another one. So we'll run over and check that one out also. It's kind of neat because this part of the property, we never go out here. I have been out here maybe once on a four-wheeler because all of these trees grow so thick. And then in the springtime in here, it's wet. So it's just something that we never access. So it was actually kind of fun driving here last night and checking everything out. Oops. So this is as far as I made it right here. I can still go way off this way and maybe curl back around. I don't know. I could go that way too, but I could actually go quite a ways that way, but the road is over there and all it is these trees, so I don't see any reason to go over there. Yeah?
Come over here. Mesa and the calf are out.
No. All right. We are going to have to go look at that other spot tomorrow. I just got back and I'm going behind here, and I'm going to bring you all the way out there to where I did that trails. And I hear something. It's like, is that Melissa hollering for me? So then I shut the machine off and she's yelling, Joe. Anyway, Mesa and the calf got out. So we just had to get them in. I think the Mesa's in heat again. And I just switched pastures around, so I don't know if it unclicked. I don't know. But anyway, I've got them into separate pastures now, and it's, I don't know, 20 minutes after 8, so we'll go out there tomorrow. Is that okay with you, Mr. Bull Calf? Huh? Is that okay with you? Oh, it's the evening of the next day. A pretty busy day. I didn't film today. I went and got feed this morning, and then took the tractor and moved those telephone poles because I have wood coming this weekend. And what did I do after that had, oh, I picked all the potatoes on the other side of the greenhouse. Melissa's in there watering right now. I have to put the sprinkler in there also. We might get some rain tonight. We'll see. Picked all those potatoes. It was a little early. They're smaller, but I would like to get that semi, right in there to drop off wood. And then I just took the tractor now, and I was out there scooping the manure stuff out of that pasture over here and pushing it over into the pile that I had going before. Now that the tractor works good, it's so great again to be able to get some stuff done. Maybe we'll jump in the buggy and go look at that one last trail. Showing that you're out there watering is what I'm doing. You still want the sprinkler in the back part though?
What?
You still want the sprinkler in the back? I scraped this all out of here because the wind is blowing away from the house. That pile down there, I don't know if you can even really see it, but it's getting pretty big. I switched Dolly's feed because look at her little horn thing. I didn't realize that they fall off. This one fell off now. This one is hanging like a loose tooth. But anyway, I went to the feed store and they didn't have anything but medicated calf feed. But they said, and I said she doesn't like it. And they said, don't be chewing on that. Just to switch it over to the dairy rat stuff that I give Mesa because it has all the protein, all the vitamins, everything that she needs. So I did, and she ate more of that. So today she only got about 2 inches of milk in the bottom of the bucket and about 2 inches of water. She drank that down. Then I should put just water in the bucket. She wouldn't touch it. So I think that might be the last time or maybe tomorrow will be the last time that I feed her any milk. I'm going to switch her over to grain and grass and hay. And then I got a weaning ring to put on her nose, and then I'm going to let her out with Mesa and we're going to see what happens. Get me some of my freedom back. Now this is about how far I made it yesterday when I heard Melissa calling me because the cows were out. All this was that tall grass. I finally just mowed this down. So this is the new trail that I made that if you guys watch the DR Power Field and Brush Mower video, you saw me do it. I'm sure I didn't even know if I showed it. I don't think I've had a follow-up video. Anyway, I've been to the end of this one in that video. So what I did I mean, it goes way down that way, and I want to continue it, but I decided to go this way because I never get to go out into this stuff back here. So I went in here, I'll show you, and then I was going to stop, and I decided to go that way, and now I'm going to make one I think that goes this way also, but we'll just go through here. It's kind of bumpy. Beep beep. This right here is a maple tree I've never tapped before. So I was going to stop it right here, and I mowed around this tree and then decided to keep going. This is kind of cool where it just goes underneath here. More maple trees to tap right there. Look out, Annie's never been back here. And I just ended it right in here. It's a nice big birch tree right there. I could go back in here, but that other trail goes back and I want to keep going, so there's no real reason to go this way unless I wanted to hook the two together. What I'd like to do though is you can see all those tall trees. See, the property, there's a swampy area back over there. But the property goes like this and it'll go out and back and out. And this one is out a little bit. That one I can see goes out also. So if I go here, it drops off right there. But if I go on this side of that popple tree right there, I can get a nice trail going out. And then I might just curve it back into the original trail, not these new ones, but the one that we always drive on. I really like this where you get into it and the canopy is already over it. See this all right here? This whole cluster here is those service berries or Saskatoons. There's a few places I ran into them back here. That one right there is the same. That's all Saskatoons. This is a maple right here. For those of you that did not watch the field and brush mower video, we'll go this way and I'll show you how far I went. All kinds of new smells, huh, Annie? Nice maple tree right there to tap. And I just ended it right here, but I will continue way down there yet. Maybe I'll get that next week. So far, my next week is not looking quite as busy work-wise. Monday is full, but after that, I might have a couple of days. I don't know where I'll go, if I'll go in here or see. If you look in there, it kind of looks like it opens up. That's what I try to go for, and then I can just go back. That tree looks like it's dying right there. I don't know if that's an ash tree or what that is. Friday night tonight. So we came in that way. That's from the back of that pasture. This is the original trail that we always drive on for the last few years. And this here is, a long time ago I used to have a trail. Then we put the pastures in. We never used it. So then I took that mower and mowed behind that pasture and came back through here. So this is nice to access this again. I can tell you right now, this is the direction the wind is coming from that manure I just took care of. It's strong back here. See, so here we are, and there's the greenhouse and everything, but I could never even walk behind this fence here, so I mowed all this out, and this is really nice. There's the new temporary fence that I put up just so Mace could get out here and eat it. And now I'm gonna have to take most of this down if that semi can get in here so we can turn around and dump the wood behind the wood boiler. It doesn't take me long though. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to end this one now, Friday night, a few minutes after 8, and go in there and grab a beer and do some more editing on this. I started a little bit last night, but I think I got through like the first 4 clips or something, and that was it. Got a lot of stuff done in this video. It was a really busy week, but I kind of feel like I got a lot of stuff done. I will see you guys on the next video. That's my box of new milking stuff, new milking claw, hoses, everything. Time to start saving the milk.